extent, energy access is an income access problem. So we also need to start thinking about ways to focus more on that and stop getting distracted by things that are not really solving the problem. So I think the way we design projects need to change, and we need to put emphasis where emphasis needs to be on. And of course, we need to keep on working on the regulatory environment as well. When different governments come into power, their agenda can also change. So even the policies that we have, we need to back them by an act of parliament, or depending on the system of government, but it has to be a law. And this is the kind of things that encourage investors to come into your country and invest.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned energy access, but then also income access. And it's kind of a chicken and egg. Right?
Exactly.
These things have to work well together.
Yeah, like we saw during the pandemic, right? About 10 million people who have gained access couldn't pay their bills, and they are going back to where they were previously.
Yeah.
And this is because they are poor. Our understanding of this binary way of calculating it, that once you have connection to your house, is actually a problem, because affordability is also a big issue. If the energy is there and you can't afford it, we shouldn't be counting that as access.
Yes.
And this also means that we need to understand that there is a need to bring up other indicators to which we use to count energy access, such as issues like reliability, affordability, as well as the quality and quantity of the supply.
You mentioned regulatory. I speak a lot around the world, and many times I've had young African students come up to me and say, I love what you're saying, but there's so much corruption. The money doesn't go where it's needed. Speak to that. How does that play out in a regulatory system?
A lot of efforts have been underway to address that. But it seems that the more you look, the less you see. That's how corruption is. For instance, we have had a scenario where a task force was established to investigate corruption in the power sector. Then later, another task force was established to investigate that task force that was investigating corruption, because even task force became corrupt, right? Yeah. So I don't have the full solution, but we can start looking at other sectors, see how corruption